Hey friends, welcome back for another video on all the books that I read last year. The tropes we are going to talk about today are Rockstar romance, sports romance, and then I threw in a historical fiction book in there. If you've been enjoying these videos but are not yet subscribed, I would love for you to consider subscribing. I love being able to share book recommendations with you guys. I'm tumbling over my words. This is the third video that I filmed, so now my voice is getting a little dry. I'm filming with a webcam and it's new to me, so I'm kind of getting used to like how it is. And then I see myself on my computer monitor, like I'm very dewy today. Do you ever put a foundation on that you haven't used in a while and you're like, ugh, now I know why I haven't used it in a while? I'm experiencing that today with this foundation. Anyway, I digress. Let's get to talking about today's tropes and books. Let's start out with the rock stars, which is one of my very favorite tropes. We have Shattered Desires by Victoria Ellis. It's the second book in the Reckless Desires series. She has not continued to write in this series, I don't think. I am super looking forward to when she decides to pick it back up because I really liked, what was the first book? Oh shoot, I can't remember the first book. I read it last year, meaning 2021, and then I read Shattered Desires right into the new year of 2022. So hopefully she'll write more. In any case, if you like Rockstar and you like a female rock star, you will love this book. The book is about Declan and Spence. Oh, is she the bass player? I think she's the bass player, but the book is also friends to lovers, is also brother's ex-girlfriend type thing. I super enjoyed this book. Declan is a kick-ass chick and Spence just had my heart. Next up, we have two books. They're in the same series, which are Until Jude and Until Levi. They're books 1 and 2 in the Pulse Tunes Rock God series by Kale Shandwick. You guys know that she is one of my very favorite authors. This was a new series that she started this year. Jude knocked my socks off. I loved him. Oh my gosh, did I love him. Until Jude is about Jude and Esther. There's a bit of an age gap there. There's also best friend's sister. The thing that I love, love, love about Kelly's characters and books are how deep and meaty the stories are and how, I don't want to say complex, but like full and rich her characters are. They are people. They are people the way she writes them. And it's really amazing because she's one of those authors that when I read her books, they play like movies in my head. And I just adore them so much. There was a turn, I don't want to say turn, but there was kind of a turn in this book that surprised me. And it was something that Jude offered Esther to like help her with something. And let me just say, I wish I had Jude in my life when I was younger. And I know that sounds crazy. If you've read the book, you know, he just is just, I just freaking loved him. And then to be followed up with Levi, who is Esther's brother and Jude's best friend. I mean, they're more like brothers when it comes down to it. Jude is the good drummer. Jude is the drummer. And Levi is the lead singer of their band, what's the name? Screaming Shadows band. And at the end of Until Jude, Levi is decided to go into rehab. He is struggling. And oh my gosh, I could not wait to see where Kelly was going to take Levi's story. There's so many places she could go with him. And I was just like, when I got the arc, I was like, oh my God, here we go, here we go. I wanted to see, I wanted so much for Levi. Until Levi is about Levi and Trini. I adored Trini. I loved how they met. I loved the journey that Levi takes in this book. It's really, really special. Heart-wrenching in places, but really special. He is a character that is doing the work. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing the work to make his life better because he knows he needs to, otherwise his life is just going to continue to tank. So I love that part of Levi. For the last Rockstar romance we have, oh, we have Beau. We have Drummer Boy by Diane Lane. You guys know I freaking love her. Oh, and Beau, I was a smitten kitten. I could not wait to finally get his book. And if you remember the book before this, because this is book 5, if you remember the book before this in this series, the Red Door series, was The Other Brother. So that was a book that just like wrecked me. It's so heartbreakingly beautiful, and I mean, like, already, like, I can't even. The book will stay with me forever. Diane's books are just, again, if you're not reading her, especially this series, you need to be. So I could not wait to read all about Beau. It's Beau and Ava. It's a little bit of an age gap. It's workplace. Beau is one of the most special characters that I have ever read in my whole life. There's something so beautiful about his heart. This book is sex positive and acceptance and love and found family and leading with your heart and having your heart open and loving the people who you choose to have in your life and who are in your life. I mean, I want to go live in this series. I love that the series takes place in Chicago. Diane's from Chicago. I'm from Chicago. So it's very hometown for me. I love seeing, oh my gosh, Rue's paw is under the door over here. I wish you could see she's got her paw under the door. Do you love Beau too, Rue? I'm gonna let her in. Anyway, it's just, I just want to live here in the series, and it feels very close to my heart because I can envision it all, but also the characters, oh, and Beau just, he just made my heart soar. Not sore as in hurt, soar as in S-O-A-R. Wait, is that how you spell it? That kind of sore. We have sports romance coming next. Oh, I have another paperback. I pulled out the paperbacks of the books that I have that I knew I was going to talk about. Of course, it's on the very bottom. And this is the illustrated cover. But we have Fighting Fate by Alexandra Silva. Look how gorgeous. And she designed this herself. Like, absolutely gorgeous. What do you guys think about the whole illustrated cover thing? She's got 2 covers. She has a regular cover, and then she has this cover. I love the attention to detail because Rory is an MMA fighter. And then also, like, there's a baby bottle over here because there is a bit of accental pregnancy. Oh, I can't even say that. And there's not a little bit. You're not a little bit pregnant, right? And then also the bow is very Willow, but it's part of her Imperfect Hearts series, which is how I found her. Where I found her, I got an arc of the first book, which is No One But You. And I was immediately like hooked. I loved her writing. This is the final book there. We had been waiting for Willow's book since the first book. This is book technically 4. I loved this series so much. Then we have the next one, which is also by Alexandra Silva. We have Careless Whispers, which is a Silver Bells Shore series book. I am so anxious to read more in that series of books. There's so many great authors participating. Oh, She's trying to get in again. Hold on. Okay, I let her in. She's eating, so you might hear some crunching in the background. In any case, this book is also, it's Alexandra Silva and Sophie Blue. The thing that I loved about this, which I had this a couple times this year, is the book is about Brody and Rosie, and Brody is a Formula One driver. I love that. I have not read, well, I read Driven like forever ago, Kay Bromberg's. I mean, that was like one of the first series I read. Colton and what's her name? Anyway, doesn't matter. But I haven't read really a race car driver kind of since then. So I loved that part to this. It's also small town. I adored Rosie. Rosie was easy to love. The drama was just enough. I really liked Brody as a character. And like I said, I'm excited to read more in the Silver Bells Shore series. Next up, we have When Wrecked Meets Ruined by Emery Rose. So funny because I'm currently reading Emery Rose's new book, which is Until August. Oh, hello, love. So happy to be back reading one of her books. When Wrecked Meets Ruined, I have to be careful to say that because all those W and R's together are hard for me, is about Ridge and Evie. Let me tell you, I could not wait to get to Ridge's book. We, of course, knew him. This is Lost Stars number 4 or 5? 4. We, of course, met him, and I adore his older brother, Brody. So, hello. Oh, isn't that funny? Brody was from Alexandra's and Sophie's book. Anyway, 2 Brodies in this video. And so Ridge definitely was like, okay, Ridge, what do you have? I adored Evie. Oh my gosh. But let me tell you that book, this book is hard. This book deals with, like, they've had a hard life when they meet each other, which is in high school. So it's also new adult and small town, and just be prepared for your heart to be tugged at a big time. Oh, there she is. What are you doing? Look at her tail. Oh, she's over here. What are you doing, honey? She's gonna come hang out with us. So the only historical fiction book that I read last year, which you guys know that that's like my second love. First is romance. Second is historical fiction. I read historical fiction for years and years and years and years. So this was the second book in the In Love and War duet, Fall of the Stars by Monica James. It's definitely dark. It's Saxons and Danes, love triangle, Emmeline, Ulf, and Scarth. Holy smokes. Monica went places in this book that I was like blown away. I've only newly learned more about that time period with the Saxons and the Danes and England, what became England. I loved the show The Last Kingdom. My daughter and I actually just finished the last episode in the most recent series. Oh, she's gonna make noise now. She's climbing on stuff, so just ignore her. What Emmeline went through and subsequently when she was able to kind of stand on her own 2 feet was very timely, and I loved how, timely as in now, and I loved how Monica bridged that time period for women and this time period that we're living in right now. Super interesting. Okay, that's it. Let me know if you have read any of the books in the comments below, or what your favorite book is in those different tropes. I always love getting your guys' recommendations. Make sure you look around and check out the other videos in this series of videos that I'm doing. I would love to have you comment on those videos in those tropes as well. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, guys. I'll see you very soon. Bye.